Imagine if the weakness in your legs wasn't actually a natural consequence of aging, but rather the result of missing a single critical bedtime habit. For years, society has conditioned you to believe that losing leg strength is just the price of getting older. You have likely resigned yourself to the struggle of climbing stairs, the constant fear of taking a tumble, and that heavy, leaden feeling that settles in your legs by the afternoon. You have watched your own behavior change, becoming more tentative, more hesitant, and increasingly dependent on others for the simplest of tasks. But what if I told you that weak legs are not inevitable? What if the true culprit isn't the passage of time, but nutritional voids that your body has been begging you to fill? There are three specific vitamins that work their magic while you sleep: repairing your nerves, reconstructing your muscles, and restoring the power you thought was lost forever. These aren't expensive remedies. They aren't complicated. They are completely natural, and they have been hiding right under your nose. The solution isn't found in a prescription bottle loaded with hazardous side effects, nor is it in a costly medical procedure requiring months of downtime. It lies in three simple nutrients your body is desperate for, but isn't receiving. Once you grasp what they are and how to utilize them, your entire reality can shift. So, why hasn't anyone shared this with you before? The reality is unpopular because it isn't profitable. Big pharmaceutical conglomerates have zero interest in marketing low cost vitamins that actually solve the problem. There is no financial gain in telling you that a few dollars a month could transform your life and give you back your independence. Instead, the media bombards you with ads for expensive therapies, invasive surgeries, and prescription medications with laundry lists of side effects that often leave you feeling worse than the original issue did. Meanwhile, the research has been shouting the truth for decades, buried deep within medical journals that the general public rarely sees. Studies definitively show that seniors lacking these three vitamins face a fall risk 3 times higher than those with adequate levels. Their muscle repair mechanisms work one-third slower, meaning they never fully bounce back from normal daily exertion. They suffer from 50% more nighttime leg cramps, which ruin their sleep and leave them drained. Yet this vital information remains hidden in academic papers while you are left feeling as though your body is betraying you. But this is not your fault. You have been misled. You have been kept in the dark regarding solutions that could reinstate your mobility and freedom. You have been told to simply accept this decline as part of aging and to shrink your life to fit your new limitations. However, right now, you are about to be empowered with knowledge that could reshape the rest of your life and restore the freedom you believed was gone for good. Before I unveil the first vitamin, I need you to tell me something important. We offer personalized guidance tailored to your age, your country, and your current health status. So, right at this moment, drop a comment below sharing your age, where you are watching from, the vitamins you are currently taking, and the specific leg challenges you are battling. Are your legs weak the moment you step out of bed in the morning? Do you fight to get up the stairs, gripping the railing for dear life? Do nighttime cramps wake you up in agony? Do you feel shaky when walking and constantly worry about falling? Do you avoid going out because you fear your legs might fail you? Tell me your story. We read every single comment and respond with advice customized to you and your specific situation. This isn't just a video, it is a conversation, and your input allows us to serve you better. So, press pause for just a second and leave that comment now. I'll wait. Good. Now, let's start with the first and most neglected vitamin that could be the master key to everything you've been experiencing. If it feels like your legs simply refuse to obey your commands, this is the reason. Vitamin B12 is the master conductor of nerve to muscle communication throughout your entire body. Every single time you intend to move your leg, your brain shoots an electrical impulse down your nerves, and those nerves instruct your muscles to contract. It happens in a split second, so fast you don't even consciously think about it. But here's the issue most people fail to grasp. Those nerve pathways are encased in a substance called a myelin sheath. Picture it like the protective insulation around the electrical wiring in your house. Without that insulation, the signal fades, it stutters, and it fails to reach the muscle clearly. B12 is the specific nutrient that constructs and preserves that myelin sheath. When you are deficient in B12, it's not that your muscles are broken or weak, it is that the signal from your brain isn't getting through properly. Dr. William Lee has spoken at length about how this is one of the most misinterpreted deficiencies in the senior population today. She explains that people are getting diagnosed with a vast array of serious conditions when the root problem is a simple B12 deficiency. It isn't physical weakness, it is a signaling failure. Your muscles are perfectly ready to work, but they aren't receiving the correct orders from your nervous system. However, here is the critical fact most seniors never hear from their physicians. Even if you are a daily meat eater, your body might not be absorbing B12 anymore. After age 60, your stomach generates significantly less hydrochloric acid than it did in your youth. That acid is absolutely vital for extracting B12 from food sources like meat, fish, and eggs. Without it, the B12 you consume simply passes through your digestive tract completely untouched. You could be enjoying steak every evening, prioritizing your protein, and doing everything you believe is correct, yet still be dangerously deficient in B12. The National Institutes of Health reports that 43% of seniors over 60 are B12 deficient, and the vast majority have absolutely no clue. They believe they are eating well and doing everything right. They cannot comprehend why they continue to grow weaker, but their bodies simply cannot access the vitamin through standard digestion anymore. Because these symptoms manifest slowly over months and years rather than hitting all at once, they are frequently mistaken for other diseases. Doctors might diagnose Parkinson's when they observe tremors and coordination issues. They call it peripheral neuropathy when you mention the tingling. They label it as general aging and tell you to make peace with it. They write prescriptions that mask the symptoms but never address the root cause. Meanwhile, the deficiency deepens and the nerve damage becomes more severe and difficult to undo. The symptoms follow a specific pattern you can track if you know what to watch for. It starts with tingling in your hands and feet, pins and needles. Then you wake up with morning stiffness that takes longer and longer to shake off. Your legs begin to feel heavy when you stand, as if you are wearing lead weights. You struggle with stairs that you used to ascend without a second thought. You lose your balance more frequently and feel unstable, particularly in low light. Your legs don't respond instantly when you tell them to move. You might start to shuffle or stumble instead of walking with a confident stride, and this gets progressively worse over time because nerve damage from B12 deficiency is cumulative. The longer you go without adequate B12, the more damage piles up and the harder it becomes to fully reverse. Dr. William Lee warns that by the time most people finally seek help and get the proper testing, they have already sacrificed years of mobility and accrued significant nerve damage that was entirely preventable. But the good news, the truly hopeful news, is that once you comprehend what is occurring inside your biology, you can fix it. And the remedy is simpler than you imagine. You don't need high priced treatments, complex medical procedures, or anything requiring a prescription pad. So, how do you correct this properly? If you are taking B12 in the morning, you are completely missing the repair window. Most people pop their vitamins first thing with breakfast, assuming that's the optimal time. But here is what they don't realize about human biology: your nervous system performs its deepest repair work at night while you are asleep. That is when your body reconstructs damaged myelin sheaths, revitalizes nerve pathways, and preps your muscles for the coming day. If you consume B12 in the morning, your body utilizes it for energy and daily operations. However, if you take it at night before bed, it feeds directly into that repair mode while you dream. Furthermore, not just any B12 will suffice. You require methylcobalamin, which is the active form your body can utilize instantly without needing a conversion process. Steer clear of cyanocobalamin, the cheap synthetic version found in most grocery store supplements, because it requires your liver to convert it into a usable form, a process that becomes increasingly inefficient as you age. You must also take it sublingually, meaning under your tongue. This allows it to absorb directly into your bloodstream through the mucous membranes, bypassing the need for the stomach acid you no longer produce in sufficient quantities. The timeline for improvement is clear and well supported by medical literature. Within 10 to 14 days of initiating proper B12 supplementation, you will notice changes in sensation in your legs and feet. The tingling begins to vanish. Your legs feel more responsive to your commands. The morning stiffness isn't as brutal when you first rise. By 6 weeks of consistent usage, mobility is visibly restored for most people. You will tackle stairs with less exertion and without needing to haul yourself up via the railing. You will walk greater distances without fatigue forcing you to sit. Your balance will see a marked improvement, and you will feel more self assured in your movements. In clinical cases tracked by researchers, individuals who could barely traverse a room unassisted have regained full walking capabilities simply by correctly addressing their B12 deficiency. Dr. William Lee has witnessed this phenomenon repeatedly over her decades of practice. People who believed they were destined for walkers and wheelchairs, losing their independence, found themselves hiking, dancing, gardening, traveling, and living on their own terms again, all because they finally gave their nerves the single nutrient they were desperate for. However, B12 is only the start of the solution. There is a second vitamin that tackles a completely different aspect of the issue. Without it, your muscles will continue to wither and deteriorate regardless of how strong your nerve signals are. Vitamin D3 is not merely for bones. It rebuilds your leg muscles from the inside out. Most people categorize vitamin D as the bone vitamin that partners with calcium. They link it to osteoporosis prevention and bone density tests. But what they don't know, and what most doctors fail to explain, is that D3 plays a massive role in muscle function and raw strength. Recent studies indicate that 70% of seniors are deficient in vitamin D, and many are unaware because they are never screened for it. The symptoms of this deficiency include weak legs that buckle unexpectedly while walking, persistent muscle soreness that refuses to leave even after rest, sluggish recovery after even light physical tasks like grocery shopping, and a dramatically elevated risk of falls and fractures that can alter your life in a split second. When your muscles lack sufficient D3, they cannot contract with full power. They tire out faster than they should, leaving you wiped out from standard activities. They ache without any clear cause, even when you haven't done anything strenuous. Over time, you lose the capacity to perform the everyday tasks that make life independent and enjoyable. Rising from a chair becomes a battle requiring multiple tries and the use of your arms to push off. Stairs transform into mountains you avoid at all costs, forcing you to rearrange your life to stay on a single floor. Walking across a room feels like a marathon when it used to be effortless. This is not aging. This is a deficiency that can be corrected once you know the protocol. And here's the secret nobody mentions that changes everything. Your body sheds muscle faster after age 60, but D3 can reverse it. There is a condition called sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, that impacts every single senior to some extent. It attacks your legs first because those are the largest muscle groups in your body and demand the most energy to maintain. Once it begins, it accelerates like a snowball rolling down a hill, getting progressively worse. You lose muscle mass at a shocking rate. You lose strength and find yourself unable to do things you could easily handle last year. You lose balance and coordination, making falls significantly more likely. Daily tasks become harder and harder until your world starts to shrink. You stop going out because you fear falling in public. You stop pursuing hobbies you love because they have become too difficult and draining. You become reliant on others for things you used to do with ease, losing your sense of independence and self worth. But vitamin D3 drives muscle protein synthesis, the actual biological process your body uses to construct and repair muscle tissue. Without adequate D3, your muscles break down faster than they can be rebuilt. With enough D3 taken consistently, you can actually reverse muscle loss and regain strength, even in your 70s and 80s. This is not theory or wishful thinking. This is proven science backed by dozens of clinical studies. So, what occurs when you take D3 at night instead of the morning? One bedtime habit reduced falls by 34% in a major study. A clinical trial published in a leading medical journal discovered that seniors who took vitamin D3 before bed experienced a 19% increase in leg strength within just 3 months of consistent use. They had fewer falls and felt more confident in their movements all day long. They felt steadier on their feet and less fearful of losing balance while walking. They reported significantly less pain during the day and superior sleep quality at night. Why is nighttime dosing so much more effective? Because deep sleep is when your muscles repair themselves at the cellular level. Growth hormone is released during the deepest phases of sleep, and this hormone is essential for muscle repair and development. Damaged muscle fibers are rebuilt stronger than before during these deep sleep cycles. Inflammation throughout the body is reduced, allowing healing to take place. If you take D3 at night before bed, it is available in your bloodstream at the exact moment your body needs it most for this repair process. It reduces nighttime aches and morning stiffness that make it difficult to get out of bed. It helps you wake up feeling stronger and refreshed rather than stiff, sore, and dreading the day. The dose matters more than most realize, and getting it wrong means wasting both time and money. Most experts recommend 2,000 to 4,000 international units, IU, per day for seniors, though some may need more depending on blood levels and body weight. But here is the key that most people miss completely. Vitamin D3 is fat soluble, meaning it absolutely must be taken with a source of healthy fat to absorb properly. A handful of nuts like almonds or walnuts, a piece of cheese, a glass of whole milk, not skim, a spoonful of olive oil, or a slice of avocado eaten at the same time is required. Without fat, most of the D3 you take just passes through your system unused, causing you to waste money and wonder why you aren't seeing results. Dr. William Lee emphasizes this constantly in her global teachings. It isn't just about taking the vitamin, it's about taking it in a way your body can actually absorb and utilize. When you do it right, taking the right form at the right time with the right supporting nutrients, the results are undeniable and often dramatic. However, there is a dangerous mistake many well meaning people make. They take D3 without the third vitamin, and that combination can actually cause more harm than good. Without K2, D3 can send calcium to the wrong places in your body. Most people have never heard of vitamin K2, or they confuse it with K1, which is totally different. They know K1, found in leafy greens like spinach and kale, which helps with clotting and healing. But K2 is distinct with a totally different function. It is the calcium traffic controller of your body. When you take vitamin D3, it significantly increases calcium absorption in your gut. That is good. Your bones desperately need calcium to stay strong. But here is the problem no one warns you about until it's too late. D3 doesn't tell the calcium where to go once it's absorbed. It just floods your bloodstream with calcium and leaves it to settle wherever it wants. Without K2 to direct that calcium properly, it doesn't go to your bones where you need it. Instead, it deposits in your arteries, forming dangerous plaques that can lead to heart attacks and strokes. It goes to your joints, causing stiffness and pain. It hardens in your soft tissues, creating problems everywhere. You end up with calcified arteries, stiff joints, and brittle bones all at once. The symptoms are subtle at first, easy to ignore. Your legs feel tight and achy. Your knees pop when you stand. You feel weak by the afternoon. And wait until you hear the study results that shock the medical community. 8 weeks, 21% strength gain, 31% balance improvement. That is exactly what happened when seniors took D3 and K2 together at night in a controlled clinical trial. Researchers found that K2 not only prevented calcium from causing harm, but actively directed it into the bones and muscles where it was desperately needed. The best form to use is MK7, a specific type of K2 that stays active in your body for up to 72 hours, much longer than other forms. Just like D3, it works strongest at night during deep repair mode. D3 and K2 are a mandatory pair that should never be separated if you want safety and results. You should never take one without the other. D3 absorbs the calcium, K2 places it correctly. Together, they rebuild bone density, restore muscle strength, and protect your cardiovascular system. Separately, they are incomplete and potentially dangerous. Together, they are life changing. So, why aren't you getting enough from food? After age 60, your skin makes 75% less D3, even in direct sunlight. You've been told to soak up the sun for natural vitamin D, just as humans have done for thousands of years. That advice worked perfectly when you were young. But after 60, your skin loses the ability to convert sunlight efficiently due to aging and thinning. You could sit in the sun for an hour and produce only a tiny fraction of what you need. As for K2, it is almost impossible to get enough from a modern diet unless you eat traditional fermented foods regularly. It is found in natto, a Japanese fermented soybean dish most people won't eat. Aged cheeses like Gouda and Brie, requiring large daily amounts, or organ meats like liver and heart, which few people consume today. Most people simply do not eat these foods often enough to meet the body's needs. This is exactly why supplementation becomes absolutely necessary as you age, not as a luxury, but as a requirement for maintaining basic function and preventing the decline that robs you of independence. So, here is your full nightly blueprint to start tonight. Give your body what it needs while you sleep and let nature handle the healing. Take B12 in the methylcobalamin form, sublingually under the tongue, to restore nerve communication and repair myelin sheaths. Take D3 with a healthy fat source to rebuild muscle and prevent sarcopenia. Take K2 in the MK7 form to ensure calcium goes to your bones, not your arteries. Together, these three vitamins address every aspect of leg weakness. B12 fixes the signal, D3 builds the strength, K2 protects the structure, and when taken at night, they work during your natural repair window. The results? Less pain when moving, better balance on uneven surfaces, stronger legs that respond immediately, improved mobility that lets you live without fear. You will wake up more rested and less stiff. You will move with confidence. Over weeks and months, you will regain abilities you thought were lost forever. If this helped you, do not keep it to yourself because others are suffering right now. Your legs carried you for decades. Now it is time to support them back. If you found value in this information that could change your life, hit the like button right now and share this video with someone who needs it desperately, perhaps a family member or friend struggling with weak legs. Subscribe to this channel so you do not miss future health insights. And most importantly, drop a comment below right now before you forget. Tell me your age so we can give you personalized guidance. Tell me your symptoms and what you are experiencing so we understand your situation. Tell me what vitamins you are planning to start tonight. Let us build a community of people who refuse to accept weakness as inevitable and who take control of their health instead of accepting decline. Let us help each other reclaim the strength, the independence, and the joy of movement that makes life worth living fully because you deserve to live fully, no matter your age. And it starts tonight with three simple vitamins before bed that cost less than a cup of coffee, but could give you back your life and your freedom.